Hey guys, today I'm back with another video, and in this video I am going to be talking about why I want to change my lifestyle and diet. So the lifestyle and diet that I'm going to be like kind of like switching into is like going vegan. And I have mentioned this to a couple of my family members. They aren't very supportive, which is perfectly fine. I don't really care if they support me or not because this is my choice. It's for what I believe is like best for my health, and I don't need their approval of it. So I want to be vegan because I like dairy makes my stomach hurt. Like there have been times where I'll like eat dairy and I'll like throw it up. So I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant and I just can't have dairy. So it's like all dairy products basically. And then for cutting out meat, my reason for that is because I watched a documentary on it, like on what they like do to like make meat, like what we eat, like as meat, and I found that it was really disgusting and disturbing. And the documentary was called Forks Over Knives, and I really liked how it like kind of explained like what benefits like going vegan had or like going plant based. And it like one of the reasons was like it I think it was like it made like cancers like be harder to get to. Like if you got cancer, it'd be harder to get them if you were vegan. So that's like one of the main reasons. Because I have like a sister who died from a heart attack, or it wasn't a heart attack. It was like it was a bunch of heart problems, and she was really young, like 6.5, and she was 2 years older than me, and I am blessed that I haven't died from a heart like problem or anything like that. And I want to like lower that risk since like heart problems runs in my family. And I think that a good way to do that is by going vegan. And then another reason that I want to go vegan is probably because like like it doesn't like seem right for me if like I hear like animals or like just like anything really that has like parents like to be losing like a child or offspring. It doesn't really feel right, you know? Like let's say that like you were like a chicken or deer or something and your parents were also like that type of animal. And then let's say that you were like shipped out to go and like have your organs sliced out and like all that nasty stuff. Like I'm pretty sure your parents wouldn't want that happening to you. And that is like another reason why I want to go vegan because like I believe that like animals do have feelings, they do care for each other. And like a dog is an example. Like there are people out there that eat dogs and it's disgusting to me. I don't know how they do it, but they just do. And then like another reason is because like if you're eating all plant-based like foods, then there's like less of a chance of you like getting something like processed a lot. And like if you're just eating fruits and veggies like all the time basically with some like other grains and stuff, then it is more healthier in my opinion because you're not eating animals and animals have a lot of diseases. There's a lot of animals that can be cross contaminated, and like I feel like it just doesn't make sense if you're getting like milk from a cow and you're like feeding it to a human. That just doesn't like work in my head. So I think that we should have like milk from like plants instead, you know. And like for me and stuff, like yeah, it's a good source of protein, but you gotta realize that like there are plants that have really like large amounts of protein and like a really good like I don't know what it is. It's like it looks like a bean type thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a chickpea that has a lot of protein in it, and like I feel like if I like switch my lifestyle kind of like from eating like animals and like all like the like meat products that could have diseases in it, I feel like if I switch that to like plant-based stuff, I feel like that'd be better and more beneficial for me because I do eat, and when I do eat stuff, it usually makes my stomach hurt, but that's because there's probably dairy in it, you know? And I know that dairy makes my stomach hurt. I cannot say that I'm dairy like or I'm lactose intolerant because I've not been tested, but I do think that I am. So I think that if I go vegan, that's wiping out all dairy products. So I won't have like any dairy, so it's gonna make my stomach better. And there are some meats where like after I take a few bites, it just like fills me up too much to the point where like I'll be bloated. And I'm pretty sure like bloating is like a sign that you like shouldn't eat anything like that made you bloat like that, I guess. And there are like natural like foods that make you bloat too. Or like if you're like a woman then you're gonna bloat like every like month basically. And like I feel like if I eliminated all of like the meat products that after I take a few bites, then like it'll make me full. If I eliminate those, then I can like add in some more like fruits and veggies and grains. And I'd say like this past recent year or two, I've like I've been more focused on like putting more color into my plate when I eat. So fruits and veggies, they have a lot of colors. You know, there's like red, like peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers. There's jalapenos. There's just a lot of like colors. And I think that like if I added more to that plate of veggies and fruits, that I would be getting more nutrients than I would be from like an animal product, you know? And like oils, you can eat oils from like if you go on a vegan diet and lifestyle, but I wouldn't say to eliminate them, but like oils, they don't really fill you up that much, and they're not bad necessarily. It depends on which ones you're using. Like olive oil, that has like a lot of good nutrients. So does coconut oil. Vegetable oil is like I'd say that's like a neutral like oil. Um, I don't think I know of any oils off the top of my mind other than those. Well, oils they tend to fill you up more easily, and I don't want to be filled up by like something that like or like if it doesn't fill me up more like in like the right way, then I'll be eating more of it, consuming more, and then that'll eventually lead to other like health problems, such as like being like obese or overweight. And with being obese and overweight, then you're more likely to get these like diseases and like cancers and all of that. And I just don't want to take that risk. So I find that like I fill up more on fruits and veggies, and it's like a healthy way of filling up. And when I'm eating like the oils, I don't realize how much I'm eating. I would not realize how much I'm eating, then I can tend to like overeat that stuff. And same goes with like probably I'd say like French fries because of like all the oil that they're like fried in. And I don't really like oiliness, if that makes sense. So that like kind of goes together, you know. Like French fries, I love French fries. Don't get me wrong, they are good, but like it's like the oil that like they're boiled and fried in. So yeah. It's not that like I don't want to eat them. Cause like I love those like foods, you know. I love potatoes. They're very good. They're good carbs, if that makes sense. Like I'd call them a good carb. Um, and because like you can make a lot of stuff with potatoes, you know. You like make mashed potatoes, French fries. There's lots of stuff. Um, and then another thing that I wanted to talk about is like the purpose of going vegan, kind of. For me, if that makes sense. Like the purpose, like my purpose of me going vegan personally. I have kind of transferred to veganism just a little bit. Like I still eat like milk and cheese just because like there's so many products with milk and cheese. Like I didn't realize how many there were until like I like kind of like started transferring to veganism. And meat products, I'll eat them. It's just like really red meat, like pepperoni, salami. I just that stuff is like too chewy for me, so I don't really like it. And like hot dogs, I like have watched like a documentary on hot dogs and how they're made, and that just disgusts me so much. I just don't like hot dogs. Um, I'd say like my favorite meat would be like chicken, probably though, just because it has a lot of good protein and stuff. So like I think that the hardest like meat that I would have to cut out of my like diet would be chicken. That'd probably be the hardest one. The rest I've pretty much cut out all like just because I don't like them, you know. And then for dairy products, I don't like the texture of like cow's milk. Like it like feels powdery to me. I'm not sure if that's normal, but to me it feels like powdery, so I just don't like eating it. So I just like the only milk that I'll drink is like silk milk or almond milk or coconut milk as well. And those are probably the only milks that I'll drink. Now the cheeses, like I love cheese, like on like pizza, you know, that's good. But like if you're like going like nachos for instance, like I'm not sure how that cheese is made, but like I it just doesn't look right, you know? Like it's like too like liquidy. So I don't really like it. Like it's more of like in between like cheese, like a hard block of cheese and milk. It's like a mixture of them, you know? So I don't know where that's coming from. And to me, I find that it is like it gives me more of like a processed like type of vibe towards it. And I I have read some articles on like milk giving you acne and like that being the cause of it. So I'm gonna test this out. I think I'm gonna try it for like probably like at least like a month, and I'm gonna see like how I feel. And this is my second week of like kind of like transferring over to veganism. I haven't gone completely vegan yet, obviously, but I feel like if I like slowly transition to veganism, I think that I'll like it. And these past couple like weeks, like the past 2 weeks, I've like had more energy. I've like felt more conscious of my being and like my surroundings. And I have had a little bit more acne like on my chin, but that's starting to clear up. Like here's that. I'm not sure how well you can see that. There's just like some right there, just a little bit. I think that's perfectly normal. Like I get acne pretty often, and there's like maybe like 2 or 3 days like out of like a month that I'll like have like clear skin with no acne at all. So I think it's very normal for my skin to be like having acne on it, and I have cheated a little bit, like going like the transition through like full on like a Western diet to vegan diet because honey apparently like we can't have honey because like bees make it, and I didn't really realize that. So, or like I didn't realize we can't have it like that, you know, because like the bee is making it, and I guess we're killing the bees. So I don't really like bees that much. So I'm thinking about maybe keeping honey in my diet, kind of. Like some vegans like it, some don't. Like they like to keep it in or they don't like to keep it in for that purpose. But since it's not the actual bee that we're eating, I think I might keep it in for like a little like sweetener for like teas or like putting it on bread. My boyfriend's cousins, they love to put it on bread, and they actually introduced it to me, putting it on bread. And then, so I'm not sure if I want to count bees, like honey, but fish, I don't like fish. It's just like the way that it's made. Like fish are slimy, but then like all like once they're cooked, it's like all like shredded and stuff. So I just never really liked fish. There was a point where I ate shrimp, but then like after that, I threw it up. So basically, if I throw up something, that kind of like makes me lose an appetite for it, like basically the rest of my life. And one time when I was in like I think it was like fifth or sixth grade, I ate like a yogurt. That was like the first time where I had experienced like stomach problems with like dairy. And so I was eating a yogurt, and then like it was like a couple minutes like after I had finished it, I like threw it up. And I just thought that it was old, but I like as these like sub problems like continued on, I'm starting to like think that it was just like the dairy in it, you know. And so yeah. Um when I first like started learning about veganism and like how to transfer like from like a Western diet to a vegan diet, I found that it's like you have to find out your why. Like, why do you want to go vegan? Like, what's making you want to do veganism instead of like the westernized diet? So, my why is because like everything makes my stomach hurt. And fruits and veggies, they give me like energy basically. So, that's like my why. Now, my why doesn't have to be the same as yours, and yours doesn't have to be the same as mine. We all have our own different reasons why we want to go vegan. And basically, if you have a good why and you're willing to stick to it and it's like really like a good like motivation for you to stay vegan, then you should definitely go for it and see where that takes you. And the second thing is to like expose yourself to like how animal products are made and like the process that they go through. And the other day I was actually watching like Forks Over Knives. That's like I mentioned that in the beginning of the video, but like this lady went to like a farm where they like make all of the meat and stuff, and the animals were just being tortured, and like chickens were like suffocating from just being on top of each other because there's so many, and there's like some chickens that were like modified, I guess. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but like they were modified and they like actually couldn't walk, so they couldn't move or anything, so they just suffocate there. And to me that like it doesn't like break my heart, but like it's like sad, you know, because like they can't do anything, but they're dying and no one's doing anything about it there. So I find that that was very very sad, and that like kind of makes me want to go vegan even more, you know. And then the third step was to like find those like transitional foods. And in finding transitional foods, like I think tofu was one of them, like a transitioning food, kind of. And then I think like more processed foods were, but I didn't really get that because like I thought that like a lot of processed foods like contain dairy and milk, you know? So I'm not really sure how they would do that. So I think I'm gonna like kind of like for me, my like transitional foods would be like taking out less meat like every day or every like week and like so on, you know. And then like eventually I'll be like eating all vegetables and fruits and grains and nuts and oils and seasonings. That's like all the stuff that we can have, basically. And then the fourth step is kind of like at that end process of transitioning is like you fully become vegan. And if you like it, you like it. If not, you can probably switch back to it, like to like the diet that you were on before. And I find that if you're if you want to stick to veganism, you should. Like if it's not causing you any physical or like mental illnesses. And if it is, then you should probably go back to like the diet that your doctor recommends. And also before you like start going vegan, you should notify your doctor just because like they can like keep track of like all of like your blood levels and sugar levels and all that and see like how veganism changes your body. I actually like was thinking about this the other day, but I think veganism is like kind of how like things were like before the industrial like revolution because like we didn't have all that machinery to like do crops and all that and there wasn't like as much like tools, if that's what you want to call it, like tools and machines to like make the meat products that we are eating. So I think that veganism was way more common back in the day before the industrial revolution, and if people survived back then, I'm sure I can survive like right now with eating just like veganism foods. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's all for the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to receive notifications whenever I post a new video, you can click the red bell down below. Here's a video right here and that you can check out if you want to. Here's my channel if you want to go check that out as well. Thanks for watching, guys.